Okay, today we're going to talk about why most sellers fail on Amazon FBA. My name's Seth. I've been selling on Amazon for 4 years. I want to give you a hot take into what I think most new sellers fail within their first year. It's not because Amazon's dead. I know that's what you're thinking. It's because they make avoidable mistakes. So today we're going to break down those mistakes and how you can save your money. Big first mistake. It's a newbie mistake. It's an age-old mistake. You got a credit card full of cash. You want to burn through it. You buy bad inventory. This usually happens when you're focused on a dollar amount spend versus a profit or ROI margin. And so you want to make sure that you avoid this, because what happens is people trust the price history. They trust today's price history. They trust an inflated buy box. They look at just the seller amp price and the sellers that are on it currently versus 30, 60, 90 days in the past. That's a good indicator of if this is an inflated buy box price. Another big thing is jumping on saturated items. I've worked with coaches. A big one that they've talked about is, how easy was it for others to find it? How easy was it for you to find it? How easy was it for your VA to find it? If they just went to Rakuten and looked at the deals that were happening today on Nike.com, and then they went and sourced Nike at the 30% discount that they had, you bet your bottom dollar that those are going to be a saturated buy box. So that's a big one that people make. Getting stuck on high return items like apparel, it's a love-hate relationship. You can scale your business, no doubt about it, and you can get your spend, your daily, weekly, monthly spend up high quickly, because you can find these items that sell quick, but they're high return. I would say the number one high return rated item, in my personal opinion, is shoes. And shoes is one that a lot of VAs and a lot of newer reverse sourcing and storefront stocking inventory that you'll find. So that's a big one. Amazon hoarding the buy box. You find an item that's profitable, that gets you above 40% ROI, has low returns, but Amazon is on it. Of course they are. When you go and look at the buy box statistics, you see that they don't share the buy box. I mean, they sell 95% of the time. Avert your attention elsewhere. But if they do share the buy box and there are incremental periods where they are running out of stock in the past 3 to 6 months, I say go for it. But that's a big mistake people make. So always check Keepa charts. Check 30, 60, 90 days. Check buy box statistics. Check if there's any major drop-offs in seller count, IP stuff. That's super huge. Avoid products that Amazon sells unless they're sharing the buy box, but there are so many profitable products out there that Amazon is not on, that it's just better for you to just turn your attention elsewhere. And then look for consistent sales rank and low competition items. Using tools like Keepa Product Finder will allow you to find a decreasing seller count and an increasing price history. And so you can jump on products that are in demand versus stuff that is just, you're buying Nike shoes and flipping them for a profit and praying that you get on it early enough to earn some profit. Mistake number 2, poor cash flow management. I have definitely been guilty of this. You overspend on inventory and forget about the other expenses that you need in your business. So it's nice to always have some cash sitting around, and expenses come up, you're running a business. So keeping some of that money in your bank account and not going all in. Now, I appreciate a Hail Mary just as much as any other. A Hail Mary is amazing. And a Hail Mary is when you throw all your money into inventory and you just waiting for that big payout. Now, some do that, but early on, it's super important for you to manage your expenses and manage your cash flow, because if you run out of money, the music stops. Then you're sitting and waiting on Amazon for a payment. And that's higher stress and you worry more. So it's best to keep some of your cash reserved. You don't, especially when people are new, the one that I try to tell people is that when you're new, it's going to be 8 weeks before you get your cash back. And so throwing all of your money into Amazon and praying for it to come out where you're making profit is a big no-no. The big one is going into debt. They get sold the Amazon dream, they buy a course, and then they decide to leverage credit. Now, there is nothing wrong with leveraging credit in building a business. I personally do it. However, if you are new and you take out an Amex Plum and you max it out at 60 grand buying not so great inventory, I mean, it's a recipe for disaster. So it's always good to mitigate risk buy certain quantities where you know you can celebrate small wins and you're not throwing it all in one ASIN. There's no point, if you're already getting into business and taking the risk of running a business, there's no point in throwing Hail Marys in the beginning of your Amazon selling journey. So start with a realistic budget. I mean, you want to have incremental wins. Like, I get it, you want to scale the business fast, but starting with $500 to $1,000 and throwing it in inventory and just wanting to hit that $1,000 to $2,000 revenue in your first month, $10,000 in revenue by your third month. These are incremental versus just going all in. Now, who's to say that jumping in and maxing out your plum and earning whatever profit, 15% profit or whatever you're earning off of that maxed out amount is not, you can be successful. But when you do that, you're putting yourself at a higher likelihood of failure because there's more risk. When I started, I was flipping 5 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 40, 40 to 80, and so on and so forth until I got to a place where I had thousands of dollars in my business account that I was able to spend on inventory. Then I leveraged credit. But I've also been doing this for 4 years, so it's allowed me to take more risk now that the business has grown. Start with the realistic budgets, huge. Reinvest your profits wisely. There's a book that I'm currently reading called Profit First, and apparently the idea is you're pulling out incremental percentages of profit before anything else. And Amazon is a cash-intensive game, so you can roll for 2-3 years and not see any money in your bank account. So track all your expenses so you know what your real profit margin is. I think that you'd be surprised how many people operate their Amazon business at a net deficit every month. And so it's very, very important for you to factor in expenses, factor in what your time is worth, factor in what prep for your packages is worth. And when you're new, there's nothing wrong with bootstrapping it, and you might have some net negative months. That's not the point. The point is that if you just throw all of your cash into inventory and wait for it to sell, your anxiety level is going to be so high that it's not a sustainable business model. Wasting time ungating. I see this time and time again because I get so many DMs talking about, they ask, 1, how to start, and 2, how to get ungated. And I too was like that. Picture this. If there was no ungating, the barrier to entry to sell on Amazon would be so low, everyone would do it. So gating is good. Now here's the reason why it bites people in the butt. They jump in to selling on Amazon and they want to sell Nike, and they want to sell Lego, and they want to sell Adidas. And so they focus all their time and energy on that. Sell what you can sell first. There is plenty of unrestricted profitable products out there. And I know this from experience because I've helped new people, and I find them profitable leads that they can order online straight to their homes, and they're ungated in it. And to be able to focus in categories that you're already ungated in, you really get proof of concept. Now, it's very, very frustrating to go into Target or Walmart when you're new and you start scanning to learn how to use Seller Amp, and you just see red, restricted constantly. But that starts to eliminate the more that you operate in your business. There are ways to get ungated in certain categories, and I have done them all, and there's nothing wrong with it. We're just seeing a crackdown in gating. And so there's nothing wrong with learning to sell what you already have, because if you sell these products that you're ungated in right away and you get really, really good at that, imagine what your business is going to be like when you're able to sell Nike, Lego, Mattel, Hasbro, so on and so forth. All right, so mistake number 4, it's almost an epidemic these days. Everybody is talking the same way. Is Amazon still worth it? Are they going to crack down on retail arbitrage and online arbitrage sellers? The reality of it is, in the business world, one thing I know from personal experience is that change is inevitable. When I started selling on Facebook, and there wasn't enough product out there for me to sell, so I shifted to eBay. And when eBay wasn't working, I went to Instagram. And when Instagram wasn't working, I went to Whatnot. And when Whatnot changed, I went to Amazon. The point is, There are so many changes happening in the marketplace constantly that you just got to be able to roll with the punches. It's part of business. The better you do that, the more you will succeed. There's a lot of talk about Amazon suspensions. There's a lot of talk about panic selling when prices start to go down. And so people just end up quitting too soon. And what's the point of that? Then you've got a bad taste in your mouth or a sour taste in your mouth for business. FUD, fear, uncertainty, doubt, should not rule your decision making when you are a new entrepreneur. Take the risks, roll with the punches, and if a Section 3 hits you, there is a way to get out of it. Amazon FBA is not dead, but you have to play it smart. You got to avoid mistakes, you got to do your research, and you got to be consistent. If you want to learn how to do this the right way, I've got a free Amazon Essentials guide in my bio down below. Please, please, please subscribe. You can DM me directly on Instagram. You can DM me directly on TikTok. Follow for more Amazon FBA tips. And in the future, if you have any questions, feel free to shoot them out in the chat. Thanks for watching.